What's up, guys? We are back out in the garage for another dye video. I haven't done one of these in a while. Today's dye is actually going to be the disc that I'm giving away to my Patreons. So the second tier of my Patreon, each month I dye a disc and give it away. If you guys want to check that out, patreon.com/Michael Holt. It's just a great way for you guys to support me and a chance for y'all to win a disc that I'm going to dye as well. So we've got this gold line Sapphire. Feels really, really good. It's an easy to use disc. I bought one for myself as well to put in my bag. Obviously I have the other versions too, the Opto. But yeah, it's gonna be a great disc to dye. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We're gonna do a glue bed dye here. And since the stamp is kind of pink, I'm probably gonna do pink and maybe some green around the edges, something like that. We'll see. But I think it'll turn out pretty good. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna do, which I normally do, is just probably lay down some dye with these syringes. I still need to get the little eyedroppers. I think those work better, obviously, than these. But I also wanna try and do like a splatter, not directly on the disc, but on the glue and see what it does. So just experiment. So just dipping this in the dye and splattering the glue and seeing the type of effect that has. So maybe I might lay down the pink and then splatter some green around the disc. But my goal is to I want to have the pink kind of come in from the edges and maybe overlap the stamp a little bit, but I think the stamp is super cool. So maybe I'll just do some splatter in there and some splatter around the edges and kind of keep the stamp for the most part intact there. So that's the goal. Let's see how we can make it look. So as you guys can see, the dye creeped in a good bit into the middle, which is actually totally fine. I don't think it'll look bad around the stamp itself. I might add a little bit of green dye and then try splatter on top around the edges and stuff, just to see how it looks. And then since this is a white base disc, I might not leave it in a full 24 hours. I'm not sure yet, just to see what'll happen so that it'll be a little bit lighter. And then I might do a spin dye, at least around the edges, and maybe do something right here and then sign the disc, obviously. But yeah, so we'll see what we're gonna do with the rest of this. I think it's gonna turn out pretty good. It looks like it's creeping in really good. It's gonna make some super, super cool designs on the disc. All right, so just gonna dip this in here, and I actually don't want to get it on my finger. Well, yeah, so maybe I'll just use this lid and do something like, I can see some splatters in there, so it's not gonna be too, there we go, overbearing or anything like that. And I feel like it'll be, yeah, so I see a couple of them coming up, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out on the actual dye at the end. Because as these splatter down, they spread out as well. So it's not like it's just a direct pile of it. There's a direct little pile in the middle right there, but and now one cool little trick that I learned on my last one was grabbing some of this glue and painting it along these edges, because when it dries, it ends up looking pretty cool. And then you can still dye on top of that as well. Now, obviously, I know that it's kind of moving the design underneath, but I'm okay with that at this point. It'll just add more motion to it. And then I'll just peel this glue off when it dries. Since it's so thin, it'll dry a lot faster. And some of it will bubble up, some of it will fall off. It'll just make it look super, super cool. Like, you guys can already see what's happening right here. Like, it'll just, the design as this dries on this under part will be really, really cool to see. So now we let this sit for about 20 hours or so. I'll check on it tomorrow morning, and we'll see how it looks. All right, guys, it is the next day, and we are all good here with the glue bed. I cannot wait to see what this looks like. Also, can't wait to tell whoever that lucky Patreon member is that they get this disc. It's gonna be awesome. Again, if you guys want to support me in that way, head over to patreon.com/MichaelHolt. We're gonna go ahead and clean this thing off and see how it looks. All right, guys, so we are all done for the most part with the dye. Check it out. I think that it looks pretty sick. You can see the little splatters of, I thought it was green, but I guess it wasn't. Maybe it was yellow. But you can see a lot of those splatters and just how cool they look. I think that it turned out pretty sick. I'm happy that the stamp looks good too. I'm gonna put my logo on the bottom and then paint over it so that will be on there. And then I'll sign it, of course, as well. And I'm actually not going to do any spin dye around the edge. I like how the pink looks on this. So yeah, we're looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and do the bottom part of it, and then we'll be sitting in a good spot. All right, guys, so the disc is all done. Again, here's what the front of it looks like. I think it looks pretty sick. I'm pretty happy with it, actually. And then the back of it has the M on there, kind of painted on. And then I'm just gonna sign it as well. And this is going away to a lucky Patreon member. I'm gonna do this every single month. Really excited about it. Again, I use the worm dip, and I use clear school glue that is washable. You don't have to use clear glue or anything like that. You guys can see how it turned out, how I painted it. So it's pretty cool because it gives it like a I don't know, like a watery look or whatever, like there's still something on there. So I think that's pretty cool how that turned out. But there it is. I know that you can't see this as much, but it's on the bottom. So it was kind of just like my own little signature as well as me signing it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope that y'all enjoyed. I'll see y'all in the next one.